Welcome to the second session that I'm doing today, and I'm going to be doing this one on sigils and how you can manifest love or use the sigils to actually bring about a more abundant way of feeling within your relationship. If everyone wants to comment the name and where you're from, I will be doing some free sigils for people today, but also I will be doing a group sigil for self-love for all that's actually watching this video today. I have my pink candle lit and
moving the light out my face.
I'm going to run through every single one of my sigils, all one by one, and in what ways you can actually utilize them when making a sigil for a relationship. If your name comes as Facebook, use it. It's because StreamYard hasn't showed your name. So, hi Marley, hi Elizabeth, hi Garth, hi Yuri. Tony's here to help me click the mouse for the overhead because it's a bit too many processes for me this afternoon, and I want to try and minimise on all of that so that I'm able to give you all my fullest of what my ability is this time. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the actual sigils on the cards, and I'll run through them all one by one and how you can actually interpret these when you want to create a sigil for love. And then if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, if you just write them in the comments box, and I'll be able to get back to you about it.
Jane will also be drawing some sigils for you, for love. So if you do want a sigil drawn, then make sure you put your name and we'll get to that at the end. So change over.
So the first sigil that we've got, I've got them actually split into the categories of what the deck is. So the first one we have is the decisions, and that is to get you onto the right track. So that is actually, recognizing what the best decisions to be making. So with regards to a relationship, what is the best kind of steps forward? What is the best steps to take, the best decision to take with regards to your relationship, whether you want to be bringing it to a higher level, bringing it forth to that, or actually just to kind of get the best kind of ultimately between you both to move forward with. And after that, we have, obviously, that's divinity, and that's kind of bringing that divinity through you, through the relationship, having it as a whole loving relationship, one that's actually kind of, you would look at it in the essence of divinely guided, in the sense that you're both wanting the same things, you're both looking for the same things within that relationship, you're both kind of focused on one another, and that commitment moving forward, and one that is higher in its nature. After that, we would have the higher self. Now, when using that within a relationship, that would be, for me, that would be kind of key for if you were feeling triggered in any way or things like that, or reactive to things, it would put you in that state of your higher self. So you're actually making decisions, you're actually communicating in ways which are more aligned with what's for the highest good for yourself and that other person as well, so that you're actually not reacting in essence, or being triggered within aspects of the relationship. And a mediator, now that one, that's when you kind of, if you're going through a lot of, say, arguments or things like that, if you're going through a bit of turbulence, I would say that the mediator sigil is, in its essence, important. It's imperative to have, really open communication, but it's also really important for it to be honest, and have that neutrality, so you're able to listen as to what their needs are, as well as what communicate your own in a way that's kind of not aggressive and not going to result in arguments in that sense. So it's about keeping that kind of communication between the two of you open and honest at all times, and not confrontational. And obviously success, that just speaks for itself with regards to relationships. It's bringing a successful relationship to fruition, or if you want to marry this person, you would be using that success to bring that ultimate outcome as to what you're wanting within the relationship. If it's something with regards to just wanting to kind of bring less arguments and getting along better, you would also use a success card for that. It doesn't have to be an ultimate in a commitment, but success in whatever it is in the relationship that you are actually striving for. Now we have the constancy card. Now that one is when you're looking for long-term results. So if you wanted a long-term relationship, then you would be using that sigil within that. If you want the relationship to go the distance, then I would use that for that as well. If you're looking for a long-term love rather than, you know, a fling or something that's just, you know, short-term, depending on what it is that you're actually looking to obtain with a relationship, then, you know, you'd use that constancy to bring that long-term. And with the emit card, that's also going to be something that actually expands. So, you know, it's a relationship that not only thrives but expands as well. So when you're using, for example, constancy and emit together, it's actually expanding long term. So it's providing long term expansion. So you would use that, for example, when you're not wanting to grow out of a person, where you both kind of grow out of each other, grow out of the relationship. It's one where you will both be aligned, it would expand within, and obviously strengthen is that strengthening those bonds between you, strengthening the communication style, strengthening, you know, the success of that relationship. The perspective, I would use a perspective sigil if, for example, you were going through a rough patch, for instance, and you needed to actually change the perspective, so that the situation can be looked at from a different angle for the highest good of all, but to bring a different perspective to the situation so that you see things slightly differently, perhaps. So if you were feeling like you were being taken for granted, or the other person was being taken for granted, for example, you would use perspective change to change that so that things are actually seen for how they are in that essence. And obviously navigate, that's when, you know, you're needing the way forward to be shown to you. So you're not you can't maybe see the woods for the trees, and you're looking to see, you know, what's the best way to move forward. Navigate would help actually direct you to that path. Afterwards, we would have embody, and that's drawing in a particular energy to help you on your endeavor. So, for example, if you're wanting to, you know, embody even more communication style, it will add in strength. If you're wanting to draw in, you know, more of a divine way of being, if you're wanting to have more purity or in its essence, you know, depending on how it is what you would embody that success. You would, you know, bring about that kind of, when people say, you know, it looks like you have been together forever, but you could have only maybe been together for 6 months, that will be that embodying constancy drawn in, you know, it shows that. And fluidity, that would just enhance the flow of love within a relationship. So it keeps that flow going, it keeps it streaming through, and it keeps it on a balance. It ebbs through in a natural way. With shift, that's where you need to change the energy around you or a situation, including within yourself. So if you have got some kind of issues within yourself, so maybe you're looking at things really negatively, or you're constantly worrying, for example, that you're going to be cheated on or you're going to be hurt, you could use the shift sigil within to build a sigil. You could use the shift one to actually, in that sense, shift your perspective of what relationships are, to actually help you kind of get out of that mindset, to alleviate those triggers, to change them within. And we have assertion now. If you're needing to own a situation, so maybe you're needing, you know, for example, and I will use this as an example. For example, if you were to come out of the closet. Now, I done this at a very young age, but it was something that I really struggled to do. And that assertion sigil actually allows you to own situations that would make you feel vulnerable or anxious. So it would allow you to actually, speak your truth and honour your truth, whatever that may be within a relationship that you would otherwise be maybe fearful to actually do because you would be scared of the backlash from others in that. And when I'm saying relationships, this could be family as well as friends or loves. And then connect. So when you're needing to kind of bridge a connection, so you're wanting to connect the two of you together, you want you both to have that kind of same goal, you would use the connect card to actually act as a bridge to bring that together. And filter is like when I've said about triggers and things like that, if there's things that aspects of like low self-esteem or low self-worth that you want to filter out to enhance your relationship, then you would use a filter for that, as well as the highlight sigil, which is when you're needing things to be highlighted so that they can easily be seen. So if there's any like issues within a relationship, so say you've got issues in communication, then you would have those highlighted so that you could easily see them in order to be able to then take action to overcome them. Now the darker cards, these darker cards are in essence like more of a shadow aspect card, but I don't look at them within the relationship sense for that. So the barrier would be to prevent a breakdown or prevent further breakdown within a relationship. The repel sigil would be when you need specifics such as specific mindsets, specific behaviours to be unable to influence you anymore in a negative way. So that's actually to just push that back. So whether that be external influences from others, trying to, have their say about the way that your relationship is or the way that it should run, or whether it should be, within yourself, it would actually act as a repellent for that. And we have the shadows card. Now that's when you're needing to kind of see. So maybe you don't realise, that you have some issues within yourself that's actually preventing love in that sense, or preventing you from seeing really what love is. Maybe you've got a different mindset of what love is to you. Everybody speaks of love all the time, but love can mean different things to different people. And if there's a reason, if you're wondering as to why love's not coming to you or love's not working for you, then the shadows card could highlight the issues as to why that is, especially with the highlight. And the disguise card, I would look at this in the aspect of when a relationship's new, it's kind of, in some ways, it's very sacred. It's like a new seed that's about to grow, and it's got to have the right conditions to be able to thrive. And the disguise card is kind of given that discretion to the relationship to allow it to flourish before anybody else can actually, come in and start trying to cause any issues within that. So it allows the relationship to start building before anybody else can come and potentially try and taint that or ruin it altogether. Has anybody got any questions at all about what it is that any of the sigils that I've gone through at all, or anything?
I think you've got some people who want a sigil.
Clara, Jane, you did a reading for me earlier and advised me to let go of control. So if you have time, could you please draw a sigil for me based on that reading? I do remember, Clara. I can't remember the reading that I gave, but I can't really remember much at the moment. So I will certainly do you a sigil, so to kind of let go of control. So let me see.
And Lauren, if you write what kind of sigil you want, what you're hoping for.
So I'll write Clara's name on it first.
Wait, I'll put the overhead on so you can see it being drawn.
Okay. It's the 13th today. So Clara, what I would say is that you need to really embody more of your higher self thoughts, because they don't need control, and also allow them to expand, which will then give you strength to repel any shadows, and I would say, and connect you to divinity. So I'm just writing the intentions for this.
Clara, if you send a PM to Jane, she can send a photo of it through for you to either print out or draw out yourself.
I'm sorry, I'm really slow.
Don't, it's fine. Jane always writes the intention out in full to make sure it's a clear contract with manifestation.
Sorry.
It's all fine.
There you go, Clara. So that is yours for you to embody more of your higher self, which expands and grows in strength, allowing any control issues to be repelled, connecting more to a divine way of being for your highest good.
Beautiful. Lauren Kay would like one regarding her husband's healing and our past life regression work together.
Wow. So what specifically would you like with regards to your husband's healing and past life regression work, Lauren? If you're specific with that, I can actually do something with a lot more intention rather than while you're writing that, I'll do Sheila for reigniting passion. So I would say I'd actually change the perspectives and actually connect more to the successes within the relationship in that sense, more aligned to the values that you both had when you got together, that love and the actual flow of love I will actually put within the success, that successful flow. I don't think I need to put any more on that. I think that's quite sort of when it's been a long-term relationship. So Sheila, I don't know if you can see, but I've put to change the perspective and connect more to that youthful, passionate love that made the relationship flourish and more aligned with one another again. I hope that one's okay for you. So Lauren's
His physical health healing, he has chronic pain, I believe related to past lives we had together.
Okay. So I would say then I would create a barrier and also repel any pain. Should filter out, giving him strength longer term, which will actually grow and bring him more in alignment with himself. I'll just write Lauren's husband because I don't know his name. I'm actually being very specific here, Lauren. So Lauren, what I've written is for the chronic pain that Lauren's husband experiences to be blocked and repelled, filtered out from within him in this life or previous, given strength to the well-being long term which grows and is for his highest good in alignment with divinity.
Beautiful. So Malise would like a sigil. She wants to open up to love again. Also, when I look around me, some relations are scaring me, so I don't know actually if I want. But
So you're not sure if you want a relationship, Marlies, but you want to be open to love should you choose to have it.
that's a good way.
Wow. Okay. So success being that long term, everyone wants. So Marlies, I've got really for you to actually have success whenever you choose to have it, really. You might get a bit teary, Marlies. So what I've written is for Marlies to be successful in opening up to love, to allow love to flow into her and from her when she's guided to make that decision to commit or engage in a relationship that would be long-term and in alignment with her core values, highlighting anything preventing this from happening within her. I hope that that's all right for you, Marlies. Sigil. Thank you, Lauren. The deck's great, Sheila, if you like to use it. It's good for using sigils, but it's also good for mediumship as well. It'll actually guide you on what to do, on what you're needing to open up to, or what's actually preventing you, or for any kind of situation within your life. You can actually use them for that. What I'll do is, should I do the group one?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is finally make one for everyone that is watching. So what I will do is actually make a sigil that is going to welcome in abundance, so bring in love, whether it be self-love, whether it be a growth in self-worth, all those things to bring you more in alignment, that's making you more open to yourself, to others, to everything in that essence, that's going to make you feel more at one with the divine being that you are, that you were born to be, that you were born as, and bring a bit of harmony into the mix for everyone.
Amen.
So what I've got is 4. So I've written for all at the WDA Love event to expand the connection with the divine long term, giving strength wherever weakness is felt, shifting the situations which impact upon them the most, allowing them to embody and embrace themselves through their higher self for the highest good of all.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much, everyone, for participating and watching and bearing with me yet again. And I'm really glad that I'm finished for today. Maria's next.
Yeah, Maria's next.
And she'll be amazing as always. Thanks everyone who's actually watched today. I hope you have all enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you all again.
And from our house to yours, happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
If I can get it.